Bacon. Bacon. It's morning now. I'm drinking my coffee. Dragon Lady's out there exploring. So we're about to go around the mountain. I think, I have to look at the map some more, but I think the mountains or the volcanoes come next. Little chilly last night. We had the Mr. Heater, Buddy Pal heater. I forget its name, but that thing ran like a champ. It went about 6 hours. We have the single bottle, regular sized one, and it went about 6 hours. We started up probably about 6 p.m. Pretty much once it got dark, temperature dropped fast. I'm really curious to check the elevation. But yeah, that little heater kicked ass. You coming back? I'm talking on the TV.
Yes, I can hear you from up. It's a mine shaft.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So come join in. Say your one words is.
Say my what?
Your one words is.
Good morning.
There's one.
That was two.
Did you enjoy the heater? You
Yes,
like the heater work?
heater was awesome.
Okay, that was.
That's a nice splurge to make right there.
It's like a whole sentence. Dragon Lady speaking in all sentences now. She's potty trained. Well, that actually even changed this weekend.
What? No.
She somehow has lately interpreted that leave no trace means you have to actually dig a hole just to pee. So, that's made bathroom breaks for her a little more involved. What else? We'll get packed up. I don't know what time it is right now. 7 or 8. California time, which this time of year I believe is an hour behind Phoenix, so my phone seems to have auto time zoned and is showing ridiculously early hours, while the truck shows realistic normal hours. Daylight savings, by the way, is the stupidest thing in the world. Another reason I'm glad to live in Arizona. We don't participate in that foolishness. My coffee's done. You know what that means. Time to get to work. Pack this little circus up and get on down the road.
Past the point of no return, baby, on the summer night. The shot of love and the spark of laughter breathe. The stars align and the month times night burn like a dried out leaf. Are we leaving on the next train, baby? I do believe. Come on, let's ride this train. Come on, let's ride this train. Now I ain't missed a 9 to 5. I don't hear it in my song. I'm gonna pull my weight, don't get me wrong. Brand new start and a whole new part, they are big old shoes to fill. I'll be there on that platform, babe, you know I will. Come on, let's ride this train. Come on, let's ride this train. Now nothing is this rush of life, you'll never find its match. So you live to be a million years. All hearts are lost by default in the time of a single beat. We're leaving on the next train, babe, so take your seat.
Well, we stopped at, it's right before that big dry lake bed, some kind of an old mill, the ruins of an old mill. Don't know what they milled there. Flour. Probably mining products. Anyway, so it's kind of, there's a plateau right up above it that we're sitting on that's supposed to be a awesome campsite, but it's way too early in the day to think about camping. Our next little milestone or point of interest on the trail will be the dry lake bed, which is right on the other side of this hill, less than a mile away. So we're going to run out across that. Dragon Lady is over there looking at the mill. We're going to eat a little bit here too. Bacon. And I'm going to stop this camera for a second because it needs a new battery. This stuff's pretty good.
Don't eat it all.
Oh,
Oh, you put the meat away.
thought you were done with it.
I hadn't even had any.
Why'd you hand it to me then?
Because I wanted to eat the tangerine first.
So hey, we're in the tent because it's a little cold tonight, not as bad as last night, with the heater going. Oh, Mr. Heater, the buddy. We ran it last night, it was
It got cold last night.
like 35 below Celsius something. I don't know what that means.
As usual,
You're
you
behind the
exaggerate.
light, so get in the light. So,
As usual, you're exaggerating.
Well, last night was cold,
Yeah, it was.
and that thing kept us roasty. With it on low. Didn't we just keep it on low the whole time? I think I already said all this, so I'll pick one of these two and use it. So
One that's less worse.
yeah, the one that's less worse, the one that's the least terrible. Now tonight it's not near as bad, near as cold, but it's pretty windy, and we're sitting in the tent in t-shirts and shorts and running the heater. If we were dressed reasonably, we probably wouldn't have the heater on at all. But anyway, fun day. We made it all the way past the big water crossing today, day 2 on the trail. Crossed the water crossing. There was a lot of traffic around there, probably because that's close to civilization.
Well, there's that big camp spot right there too.
Yeah, and there's a dedicated, established campground there. Afton, something like that, Canyon. We skipped that, and once we got south of that, running the Mojave River wash, it got empty again. Nobody. And we got to this place called the Triangles, and on our set of GPS coordinates and waypoints and things, there's another thing called the False Triangles. Looked at that too, that appeared to be absolutely nothing. So yes, that's False Triangles, whatever it is. And now we're at Triangles up on that plateau and overlook over the river bed and the river valley. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a cool view, but it's kind of windy and exposed in this campsite. Fairly slow because the trailer we're pulling has no suspension. It's just bouncing around on a couple of... we keep joking it's like bouncing around on basketballs. And we keep making Harlem Globetrotter jokes about it. But that slows us way down, because when it gets rocky or gets kind of bumpy, that trailer wants to get to bouncing, so we got to slow way, way down and keep the trailer settled down, or it gets rough for the contents of the trailer. We also, like I said, on our first night, the trailer was loaned to us by the folks at Turtleback, so, you know, naturally we want to treat that better than we would treat our own equipment, because it's not ours. If it's mine, I'll assume the risk for my own stuff if I'm going to beat it up, but I don't like doing that when it's not my thing. Anyway, Dragon Lady's gone. She's gone to sleep. So, I'm going to stop talking.
Yes, good morning to you.
And a
Fine, sir.
fine morning it is to you, ma'am.
Thank you for making my coffee.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Even when a mushroom-ass hippie
yes, doesn't like them.
starts threatening violence, who's on mushrooms at the time, threatening violence against Sierra Clubbers out at the Saline Hot Springs, you know they're bad. And when I reminded him, hey man, don't you want to kind of take it easy on the mushrooms? He goes, no man, that thought makes me happy.
Wasn't he like, come on, they're just right over there, let's go get
Yeah,
them.
let's go hit him with hatchets. Oh, there it is,
Oh,
that other camp. I kept looking.
the truck or whatever it is that pulled in last night doesn't look like it's there.
Use the glass. It's in the pocket of my tan bag. One of the outside side pockets.
Well, now it's going to look like a stalker or something.
To whom? And all you're going to be able to see is the shapes and a little bit of detail. That thing ain't like a giant spotter scope. Like, you'll be able to tell if a truck is there. You won't be able to identify people. You won't, if any of them are naked, you won't be able to tell. Don't look right at the sun. Because they're at least 2 miles away.
It looks like one of those canvas hunting tents.
Or like a Klondike tent.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Adirondack tent, whatever they're called. Maybe. I don't think they're allowed to hunt anything in California.
No. Like you said, I thought I saw, like,
It's got shine to it, though.
yeah, where the shadow is above the tent or above the camping area. Just a little bit below that is where I saw like what might have been like headlamps or something.
No, it doesn't even look like one of those Klondike tents. It looks like one of those ribbed plastic tents. It's shiny and it looks like 3 ribs. It also looks like there's a big antenna stuck to it. Or it's a big water tank, which I doubt.
Because that thing got lit up last night after that truck came in. So
Now I wish I had my spotter scope. We'd be able to see right through that thing.
if you're gonna make eggs, you need to get up and.
I don't want to. Then the stove has to come out of the bottom of that box.
We have to clean. We are lazy.
If we had hint time, if we had a, say, full kitchen in the back of the trailer,
True. We still have to clean. It's a little bit easier to clean though.
well, yeah, there'd be a sink, and we could do the dishes in the sink. There would be hot water, which would make doing the dishes easier.
We wouldn't have to pour water out of those 5-gallon.
Yeah, we'd have onboard water. So, running water. To get up and over and long aerial shots of this spot with our camp, that'd be bitching. We gotta buy a drone. We're buying a drone. I don't know when. It'll be a while. We have some expenses coming up. That's another hint. Maybe at the end of this video
For the next.
we'll wreck the surprise, because the next video after this one
Will be
will
like the next,
be no more hints.
the next 5 or 6 years we have expenses.
All truths will be blown wide open with the next video. We don't have followers enough to be running long-term hints and surprises. People will be like, I don't know what the hell you people are talking about. You're idiots.
Pretty much.
We're all aired up, hopping back on the highway, putting our windows up. So that was an awesome trip. That is now one of our favorites.
I liked it. It was fun. What?
I'm doing this. Oh my God. Now that the tires are back up to 40 PSI, the trailer's bouncing around like a man. This road is for shit. So yeah, this road is a piece of clown crap. And we've got, geez, if I'd realized
Miles.
how bad, yeah, the guy said we got about 2 miles up
Maybe you can go off on
until we can get on the freeway. I would have stayed aired down if I knew the pavement was this terrible. The trailer's bouncing around. The high lift jack is going to disintegrate. The road just got a little bit better. Oh, that was horrifying.
A little slower today.
A little slower today because we had to set up the privacy and try out our new secret privacy camp toilet.
And how did that work?
Boy, it worked really well. It's different, but it worked really well. No pun intended. Wow, look at these old dead buildings. Anyway, we didn't have a whole lot of bouncing on the way out while we were still on the trail because we were in the Mojave River wash, which is sand, and the trailer really likes the sand. It just stays flat and kind of floats around. It doesn't bounce ever. Mojave Road, if you have not done it, what are some points and tips we have for people that have never done it before?
Freeway.
Oh, sign says freeway. That tells us everything we need to know. Let's see, I'm going to stop here and mention these things. Fuel. Fuel, there's my fuel gauge. We're sitting right at 3/4 of a tank. We were able to tank up about 3 or 4 miles before the start of the trail, like right at the river.
At the Avi Resort.
At the Avi Resort, AVI. And with a 4Runner pulling a trailer, 3/4 of a tank ran us the whole 2.5 days. We have 15 gallons on the roof that we haven't touched yet.
At the Mojave mailbox, you need a frog, a bobblehead, a toy car, and a lawn gnome. And then something to leave at the mailbox. Make sure you sign in. And then across the Soda Lake,
Oh, that's right.
you need a rock. And make sure you write something on it and leave it in the rock pile.
Yeah, so we're kind of wondering, like, what's so fancy about this rock pile? Just pick up a rock and throw it on the pile, I guess. Maybe write your name on it. Well, what's kind of cool about it is it's in the middle of the Soda Lake bed. There are no rocks to just pick up and throw on the pile. You got to know ahead of time and bring a rock from someplace. Some of those rocks are big, too.
Yeah, well, they look like they brought them from the lava beds. They look like that lava rock.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't want to do that. Bring a rock from home.
Yeah, we'll bring a rock from some odd place. Probably another trip, Colorado, Utah. Something you can write on, and write where the rock's from, who brought it there. Rollin' Dirty Overland. That's who. And the Dragon Lady. That was our Thanksgiving weekend. It's Saturday now. We'll be home tonight. And tomorrow we'll get this trailer cleaned up. And Monday I'll deliver it back to the good folks at Turtleback. And then, now that it's the end of this video, and our next video will be rather obvious, about 3 weeks from now, 3.5 weeks from now, we take delivery of a Turtleback Expedition. Yes. So this trip with this, I think it's called their Adventure model trailer, that has no suspension, no electricals, no kitchen. The rooftop tent was pretty cool. That was our first time sleeping in a rooftop tent. Thoughts?
It was nice. Setup and takedown is really fast.
Yeah, and this tent, it's an Oz tent, some model, like model number 7, I think. Some clever naming on Oz tent's part. But anyway, it was kind of cool. It's got like an annex built into it all the time, which was odd that you couldn't just have an open air camp and then get in the tent. You always had to have that annex set up.
But it turned out to be really nice to have the annex, though.
In our case, because for this weekend, because there was some cold and some. First night was, that was our second night, was really cold. The annex was really nice for that. We ran our little Mr. Heater heater. And the second night was really, really windy. It wasn't very cold, but it was really windy. So the annex was nice for that. Which, with our 23-0 tent that's coming, we have an annex that you can attach to the bottom of the tent around the ladder area and make a little room. And I imagine there'll be lots of nights we don't use that thing.
Yeah.
But if we had been with that on this trip, those same 2 nights we would have used the annex. One because of the cold and to run the heater, and the other because of the wind.
Just to get out of the wind, yeah.
But that first night we could have not bothered it. The first night we drove up Wednesday straight after work, got on the road about 5, crawled through crappy Phoenix traffic all the way across Phoenix in horrible rush hour traffic for 2 hours. And got to the beginning. We actually went onto the trail for about the first 3 miles after we fueled up to find a camp spot.
It was late.
And
10:30, 11 when we camped.
Yeah, when we actually stopped to camp, it was about 11 o'clock. So we didn't bother with the annex, although the annex is part of it, but we just sort of let it hang, which is enough room to just get inside and get up on the bed. The bed runs on that model head to foot, the length of the trailer, parallel to the trailer. Most rooftop tents we would be head to foot across the trailer and hanging out over the trailer. So anyway, it worked out great. We had a fantastic time. And what the point of all that was having that little adventure trailer. And cool as it was, we had a great time with it. But knowing that in a couple of weeks comes the expedition with power, hot water, running water, suspension, so we can actually, it'll do a lot less bouncing and probably move a little quicker along the trail. We'll know that once we start driving with it. Who knows? Maybe we go the same speed, but the trailer doesn't bounce so much. Maybe we can go a little bit faster, make a little better time. But anyway, that just, while enjoying this trailer, being like, it is so cool to just have all of our stuff in the trailer, and setup of the camp is much quicker than our old stuff, and tear down of the camp as well. But that just made us keep going, oh my God, what's coming? If this is cool, what have we got ourselves into?
Yeah, you're pointing like out at the window at the trash now.
You're in the picture. There. And Yermo and Baker. Yeah. This is that kind of assy point of Colorado. Here comes behind us, California. Look at this.
Ooh, that's nice.
And they're all out running together. An FJ40, a Suburban, and a Porsche Boxster. No, I guess they're not together because the 40 went that way. Suburban and the Boxster went over. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh, we're gonna love that trailer to death. That'll be our new home. I think we're just gonna give away all of our shit and our house. We're just gonna abandon it and and live in that trailer at all times.
If you want to live in the trailer, you can.
In all the deserts and all the mountains. Which, well, we already go to all the deserts and all the mountains as it is. Well, we would do that if we could find a way to have somebody pay us to do it. Why would you not want to just live on the road?
I do like my luxuries every once in a while. I'm not going to deny that.
Well, if they're paying us, we would have places we can stop and hotels on occasion.
It's not the same.
Your head's not the same. We're at the freeway. We're going to get on the freeway. That will essentially conclude this video. Rollin' dirty, Overland. Everybody does this. I don't know if it helps, but I'm going to try it for one time and see. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and like again, vote early, vote often, they say. Hit like as many times as you can, and subscribe, and make sure to hit the little bell on YouTube for the notifications so that you know when we go someplace or do something. I've got a lot of cool videos set up in the near term, some technical stuff, some how-tos about recovery, about air up, air down, medical, I mentioned that earlier. We're going to do a video with some of the top trainers in the business on medical stuff, what to have, why to have it, and how to use it. Yeah, see? Dragon Lady approved. That's it. So that stuff's coming. So we're done. End of the Mojave River. It's all, or Mojave Road.
Mojave Road.
Right. That's it. I already said that's it.